Hey Year 3, welcome to Inquiry for this week. Now I'm actually sitting down in our spare room and I've got a mattress behind me. That's a blue background and I need some equipment for today. I've got a tennis ball, I've got a marker. Now instead of a tennis ball, you might have a different type of ball. But I want you to make sure it's round. I've got my son's old soccer ball, which the dog has attacked a bit, but that's okay. Now I'm going to be making a little video and you're going to show you what you need to do. You will also need a torch. Now you've also got on your iPad or your parents' phone, you should have a torch there, but this is a really cool torch. It's only a really cheap one from Bunnings. I know we can't go to Bunnings right now, but this is some of the things I'm going to use. So I'm going to show you what we need to do. Okay, with your ball, I'm going to use my tennis ball, you need to mark off some things. Now, I've got a marker here. I'm going to mark off Australia. Well, it's our country. Now, I know that Australia is in the bottom half of the world. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to try and draw a line that roughly goes right through the center. Now, is my line perfect? No, it's not, but it's pretty good. Does anyone know the name of that line? It's not called Wilson. It's called the equator. Now, so on the bottom half, Australia's on the bottom half, I'm going to try just somewhere to draw Australia. I'm not going to get the perfect size of it, but it's pretty darn good. Don't forget Tasmania there. And down the bottom is Antarctica, just doing a dot there. Pretty cool, hey? Now, does anyone know some countries that are above Australia? Hey, we just had the Olympics. So around here, we just had Japan, didn't we? And here we've got a whole lot of Asia. Now, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to have for you a map of the world. That way you can see where different countries are. Now, if this is Australia here, does anyone know what country is pretty much on the other side of the world? That's right, you guessed it. It is Europe. And Europe's in the top half of the world. So I'm not going to draw it, it's pretty hard on a tennis ball to do it, but I'm going to put a Europe there. Underneath Europe is Africa. Now these aren't perfect sizes, and I've got Russia that goes all the way up here. Again, don't worry if they're not exact. Now, between Australia, we've also got around the side here, so here's your Africa, we go back, here's Australia. We've also got somewhere over here, we've got the USA, so America and Canada, and we've got South America. Okay, so we've got different bits here. So here we can see a bit of our world around the place. Now if I go back to the fantastic Australia, a lot of you guys will know because you're so smart, that if here's Australia, Asia goes all the way and it connects with Europe. So I'm going to colour all this bit in here. And don't forget we've got Bali and Thailand, those places where a lot of people have been to. So now we've got our map of the world, or our globe of the world. I'm going to do the exact same thing on my soccer ball, and I'm going to show you what it looks like very soon. Here is a map of the world showing the continents, Asia, Australia, Africa, Europe, North America and South America, and the Antarctic, if you'd like to use this to add it to your globe. Okay, so here's my soccer ball. You can see my middle line, the equator, and I've tried my best that I can. It's pretty hard to see. Here is Australia. Up here you've got Asia and so on like that. That's quite big, isn't it? So I go around. Okay, so now the next thing that we need to do is you're going to need your torch. So I've got my torch here, and you're going to need the ball that you're using. I'm going to pause it here and I'm going to open up my next bit. Okay, so I've got my torch here and look at this. It is daytime and here is Australia. Now what do we notice? Hey, part of the earth has got light on it, the other part doesn't. As I spin, here's Australia. As I spin my earth around, Australia's now the other side. And guess what? Australia's not seeing any light at all. That must mean it's night time. We also see the equator here. Now we know that the earth spins around the sun, not the other way around. What I also find is interesting is in winter time, I'm bringing Australia back down here, is the sun is more pointing to the top of the earth, the northern hemisphere. So they're getting a lot more light. That's why they're getting all the warmth, which means it's summer. We're not getting as much light down here, which means it's winter time. Our days are shorter and our night time is longer. In summertime, it's the opposite. Okay, everyone. So, you've made your globe. You've watched the movies that I've made for you. You've looked at, seen how, what side is getting the sunlight and what side is not getting the sunlight. Pretty interesting. So we're going to go into your book creator. We can see this red note I've got here. Upload your knowledge to your Earth, Sun and Moon book in Book Creator. So we're not going to upload any work on Seesaw. And you're going to tell me some things that you know. So I'm going to click here. I know that when it is daylight in capital A, Mr. Tookton, Australia, capital A, Mr. T, Australia, it is night in England. England. What else do you know? I wonder how long does it take for a day to happen? For a whole day. It is daylight for 12 hours a day. But here's a question for you. Is it really daylight for 12 hours a day? In wintertime, maybe our days are shorter. In summertime, maybe our days are longer. So what can you tell us about the Earth's rotation in respect to night and day? That's what we're looking for. Remember, you're going to upload your work in Book Creator. Let's look at the little note I've got down the back. Make sure you add pictures and movies of what you've done. So if you can't film yourself making your sun and globe, you might have a drawing showing where it's light on one side of the world and it's dark on the other. Remember, you've got the week to do this. Have fun in doing this inquiry task.